So for step 16, attaching the front suspension. Well, we're going to grab our front gearbox and then we're going to attach the suspension parts that we put together in the last step. You can see that we need 2 screw pins either side. We'll grease those up. And then for the drive shafts, we've got to grease the dog bones up, but we also have to put in some O-rings that are going to go into our drive cups on the front, and there's 2 aside. So there are the hardware pieces. We got our larger screw pins, the smaller screw pins, and then of course there's our front gearbox and the arms that we put together in the last step. So I will set this up and we'll put this together. So I think what I'm going to do is let's grab our gearbox and we're going to grab this one right here. We'll work on this side first. So just because of the way this is all going to end up having to go, I think I'm going to put in the bottom screw pin first and get the bottom of the suspension in place. So let's just grease this all up. There we go. I'm just going to start it by getting that pin in place. So once you have this down here, we should be able to push. Whoops. And let's make sure that we can get that into the hole, which it seems to be a bit of a tight fit. So I might actually try screwing this at the same time just to get, there we go. Make sure that that's going in, and then we can push. There we go. And then we can screw it in place. There we go. It's a pretty tight fit, actually. It's nice and smooth now, but the pin is a little tight going into that hole. Now, once that's in, that leaves just the top to work with. And before we can put that on, we need to get the dog bone all greased up, but we also need to get these O-rings in place. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, well, let's do it this way. Let's grab one of those and use the dog bone to push the O-ring down to the bottom. Grab another O-ring, put that in, and use the dog bone to push that into place. So there are 2 going into the drive cup. Now we've got to grease up our dog bone. Just like that. And we're going to slide that into our drive cup, which fell out anyway. Let's slide that back in. We're going to put that into our drive cup on the front and put that into our drive cup on that side. And now we can put that over top just like that, and we'll need our screw pin and put that in. Now we're using the smaller screw pin now, and it still shows you need to grease that up. So just enough that it's kind of covering it, and we'll stick that in the hole there. There we go. That one isn't quite so tight. And we'll screw it all the way down. So there we go. There is our front suspension in place. Very, very cool. Okay, so that's one side done. So we're going to do the same thing on the other. So we need to grease up our screw pin. And I'm going to place this down to the side, make sure that that fits. I'm going to now grab this. Let's slide this through. This one is not so tight, which is nice. There we go. That's going through much easier than the other one did. And we'll screw that in. There we go. And on this side, we've got to put in the O-rings. So once again, I'm going to put this O-ring down there. Use the axle. That didn't go in flat. Let's try this again. We're going to put that down there. Use the axle to push it in flat. Same thing with the other one. Put that in there. Use the axle to push it in flat. So there we go. There are our two O-rings down there. And then we need to grease up our dog bones. You don't have to go crazy. I mean, I'm putting on maybe more than I need to, but I tend to at least try to give it a fair bit of coverage. Just enough. And we'll stick that one inside of our cup here. And we'll do the same thing with the other side. Just like that. If I turn this around again, just so that we're back to the way it looks in the diagram, we now need to attach our screw pin. So we're going to grease that up. Just like that. And we'll slide that pin through. Come on. Let's go back to this. There. Well, see, this side now is a tighter fit, so I'm going to screw it in. There we go. And then it slid into place. So there we go. There are our front suspension arms in place. It's a pretty cool design, really. Excellent. So step 16 is complete. So now we're going to move on to step 17 and attach the sponge tape, and we're now into bag C.